How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another live edition of the Analyst Desk. And it's a super exciting day. Wild Card Sunday. So, of course, we got to introduce the group, joined by Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo! Hello, everyone.
And joined by Sam from Football Talk with Sam. How's it going today, Sam?
I'm great. It's playoff Saturday. Everything's amazing when the playoffs begin, so it couldn't be better.
100%.
Can't complain about playoff football, right?
Oh yeah.
Whether it's CFL or NFL, the playoffs are always the most exciting time of football. And we got two interesting games on the docket today.
Huge games.
I could really see, may as well start off with the first one, which is the Rams versus the Panthers. And I don't know if you guys would agree with me. I think the Rams have a lot more to lose here than the Panthers. This year's already a success for the Panthers.
Rams Chargers.
I think if you're the LA Rams, you have to win this game. This is one that, you're potentially a Super Bowl contender. I talked about it on a show previously. I think that the Rams could win the Super Bowl. So, would you boys agree that there's a lot of pressure on the Rams in this one?
Yes.
100%.
A lot, because I don't know if Stafford's going to have another year like this in his career, especially aging the way he is. He's 37, 38 years old now. He's played like an MVP. He's got wide receivers and tight ends all over him that can catch the ball and deke and just make plays. So this is their year. And then the Panthers, maybe you could say they were expected to have a year like this, but again, Bryce Young didn't start off his career great. So it's kind of all right, nothing to lose. Let's see what we can do.
Well, exactly. And I really feel like the Panthers, at least in my opinion, I had zero expectations for them this year. I'm it'd be nice if they could at least be in the playoff hunt, but I was not expecting them to make the playoffs. And they made the playoffs, beating out a Buccaneers team that I think for them was a huge disappointment. So I really feel to me like this is the Rams pressure game where the Panthers don't have a lot of pressure. Dan, are you agreeing with Sam and I, or do you more see this as no, the Panthers getting here is one thing, but now they got to get a win?
Well, I guess it's going to be a boring show, but I totally agree with you guys. I'm really shocked that the Panthers made it as far as they did. I thought they would be an over 500 club, or maybe a 500 club at best, in the hunt. But I thought for the last week or two, there was no way we're going to make it to a playoff spot. I thought for sure this was going to be Buccaneers, and here we are. So I think
I don't even think they're over 500. I think they finished 8 and 9. That's how bad that division is. Congrats for winning the worst division in football.
I know. Yeah, literally. It's boy, I wish the Bills was in this division. It would be a lot easier. Buffalo,
we got a Buffalo Bills fan in the chat. And Lane Dashko is calling for a Panthers upset today.
Oh,
that's what the game said when me and Lane did the game. That's what happened.
Oh,
very true. If you haven't had a chance to watch that yet, everyone who's watching, I do recommend to head over to our Facebook and YouTube and check that out. It's a great way to see what may happen today. and Sam and Lane did a great job on breaking that one down for us. But when we start to look at some of the key storylines for this game coming in, like, you really expect the Rams to win this game, in my opinion. But I mean, the Panthers have nothing to lose. So maybe the Panthers have a better chance of, if they can get to a lead early and kind of make the Rams feel a little bit surprised. I don't know. Like, I just feel like the Rams have a lot to lose. The Panthers have nothing to lose.
I think this is good. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd say regardless of what happens in this game, this year is a huge success with the Panthers, right? And this could be a start of them building something. Like next year, going to be expected to make the playoffs again because they made it this year, right? And maybe next year they'll be expected to win. But, regardless of what happens to the Panthers, this is a great story for them. Kind of like we see in hockey, right? They jumped up a couple years in their rebuild, and that's fantastic. But the Lamb, as I like to say, Lamb Chargers, they got a long way. They could win the Super Bowl here. They got arguably the best team. And, this is a big pressure on them. They got to get this done. But sorry, Sam, go ahead.
I was just going to say this is a good opportunity for the Panthers because this is one of those situations where, you are 8-9, but you're a division winner. So you get the home game.
Yeah.
Right.
So you get them on, like, in Carolina at home. You don't have to go all the way out to SoFi, which, again, like, Rams and Chargers fans aren't as good as, like, let's say Dodgers or Lakers fans. They're not as passionate about football in LA as they are, like, out east or even, like, in like Seattle. So,
Yes,
I mean, USC fans could get mad for college, but again, like, you have these guys at home. So if your crowd wants to show up and make them go on silent count or something like that, just to disrupt anything, this is the time. This is your time.
Well, and I would say too, like, I think this more just goes to the point of don't give up on quarterbacks so young, because we saw a lot of people say they should have given up on Bryce Young. And look, I'm not saying it's the year. I'm not saying this is the year of the century and Bryce Young's going to win the MVP. However, Bryce Young did enough to get them into a playoff spot. Like, you could say the same thing about the Seahawks of Sam Darnold, another guy that really struggled to start his career. Same with Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams. His first year was a dumpster fire. So all I mean is I think maybe we're going to start to see a trend again where teams are giving quarterbacks maybe 3, 4, even 5 years before they really decide, hey, this guy isn't really who we were hoping he's going to be, or, hey, this guy's the real deal. Not everyone's going to be a CJ Stroud and come out in their first year and just play very, very well. But I really think the key for the Panthers, I'm going to say the key is to try to not let the Rams have long sustained drives. As much as the Rams have that breakout offense ability to hit the chunk plays, I find with Matt Stafford and that offense, they like to just kind of get like anywhere from the short to medium plays is more whenever I watch them. It's what they're trying to hit more to try to open up the big game. So if you can try to make it where they can't get into a rhythm, that's when you'll see Matthew Stafford make mistakes. That's when he's forced to try to take the ball downfield on almost every play deep. Not saying he can't do it. I think this guy's the MVP this year. But to make him do it on every play is something that he's not as comfortable with. He's old school football, right? Let's go down 5 to 12 yards of play, get first downs, move those chains, and work your way down. Where I think if you can get him off that rhythm a little bit, maybe force them to try to take those 15 to 20 yard plus chunk plays. Again, not that they can't do it, but I think that's the Panthers' best shot of getting a win here. I don't know if you boys agree, you disagree, you think I'm on glue. What are we thinking?
No, I mean, especially the run game, like Kyren Williams and Blake Corum, that's probably the best running back duo in the playoffs. Williams, we've seen what he's done in the NFL. We've seen glimpses from Corum, but being a Michigan fan, I saw what he could do in college, and this guy is a stud when he gets going. Like, he could rip off 80-yard touchdown runs in the blink of an eye. So you got to be careful with the backfield, and then obviously the receivers, right? Like Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, like those two. That duo is lethal.
We could argue it's the best 1-2 tandem in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
up
could
there.
easily make that argument, right? But
Mhm.
I mean, I'm expecting the Panthers to actually make this a game. I think the Rams will win, but I'm not
Mhm.
expecting a blowout here today. Like I'm actually am hoping, because if you guys remember, if you were with us this time last year, I hated the wild card because I'm like all the games sucked. I don't think
Yeah.
this game's gonna suck. I think this will be a good, and what I mean by suck is I don't want to see a blowout, right?
Mm.
And
I
I
do-
honestly think the Panthers can do what they need to do to hang around in this game. If you can keep it a one-score game and try to get the ball last, you have a shot.
For some reason, I'm not trusting the defenses for these teams. I think if it's close, it's a
Okay.
shootout. But also
Ooh.
the playoffs, you never know, right?
But do you think the
defense is
Panthers
always
can win a
saying that.
shootout against the Rams? Like that's kind of
Well, I think what you were saying, force them to be uncomfortable on the road, and then anything can happen. You know, maybe you get like a muffed kickoff and get an easy score off of
right.
that, right? Like,
Well,
I
what's
don't know.
tough is too with, and again, maybe I'm just old man yelling at cloud here, but it's tough with the new NFL kickoffs. You can't really do any trick plays anymore. Like we saw towards the end of the season last year in the CFL, where Montreal just kicked it right off one of the Ottawa players' heads and ran up and got it. Like you don't see that in the NFL now with this kickoff system, but
the new kickoff system also forces them to run out a little bit more because it gives them
true.
more
We are
space.
seeing way more
So
kick returns.
if they are running out, they're going into the teeth of that defense, and if something happens, there it is for the taking.
So then, Sam, are you saying maybe even special teams might play a role here?
Yeah, maybe. I could see that.
Because I will say, like, with as much as I don't like the new kickoff format, I think I've made that very clear. We are seeing more. We are seeing more kick returns, and I will give you that, Sam. And with that being said, maybe that's where I think for the Panthers to win this game, they're gonna need plays like that,
force turnovers, because you can't.
Oh yeah,
you can't give Stafford and those guys free chances, right? If you can limit the drives that they have. Because they're gonna go on those long drives. If they're playing the way they should be, they will have those drives. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So if you can limit those by turning the ball over, like forcing turnovers, then it'll work in your favor and you'll be on the field more. I think if you're the Rams, also you got to watch out for Bryce Young's legs as well. Stafford's not a runner, but Young is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Jeff is using a hat. He looks classy. I'm not sure which one of us is Jeff, but thank you very much. Just from our barber friend in Norway.
That's right. Welcome back. I
usually don't wear hats.
Yeah, it might be yours.
Yeah, I like your hat, dude.
I feel I totally look like Cole Phelps from LA Noire. If anyone's played that game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm stumped. But but yeah, no, look, I think it's going to be tough though. I mean, because Matthew Stafford has only thrown 8 turnovers this whole season, but like 8 interceptions, sorry.
Fumbles.
But he has had a couple games with 2 and 3 interceptions, right? So it's interesting. He's thrown 8 interceptions, but he has a game against the Falcons with 3 interceptions he threw. A game against the Panthers where he threw 2 interceptions.
Yeah,
they struggled. They struggled in Carolina. So
that's right. And we're in Carolina.
Yep.
So I mean, maybe this is where you can try to get the advantage there. Maybe they have some sort of secret sauce on that defense. And like I think Carolina's defense is decent, is it not?
Oh yeah.
It's not terrible. Like they're here, they're in the playoffs, so it can't be like that bad.
That is an ouch.
9-2. Holy cow.
9-2 for the Bruins. Wow.
And welcome back.
Welcome back to the desk. I will say though, no disrespect to Carolina, but maybe you guys will not like this take, but that's fine if you don't. I feel in a way Carolina didn't make the playoffs, the Buccaneers missed. The Bucs started like 5-1. Like to start 5-1 and blow the weakest division in the entire NFL.
I don't know what happened to them because I know Mike Evans went down, but Emeka Egbuka, the rookie, was like insane for weeks. I don't know what happened to him because he was I loved watching that guy in college.
And I was talking Baker Mayfield for MVP after about 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, a lot of people were. Yeah, a lot of people would agree with you.
But now let's get to some predictions here in this one before we move on to the Packers versus the Bears. Who are you guys taking in this one? Sam, we'll start with you.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Rams. I would love to see Carolina beat them though.
Oh, I always love an upset. Who doesn't love that?
I'm rooting for an upset here. Especially I feel like Carolina would go crazy for a playoff win because they haven't had one of those in so long. I think the last time they were deep in the playoffs was like 2015 when they went to the NFC Championship. So
It's been a long time.
I'm rooting for it, but I'm going to say like Rams 30, Panthers 24.
Last time these two teams faced, just a reminder, the Panthers won 31-28. Dan,
Yeah.
who are you taking?
Well, Jacob would know this, but my celebrity crush is Brenda Song from
No, it's William Nylander.
yeah, well that too, from the Sweet Life and Zach and Cody back in the day, and she's a huge LA Ram Chargers fan, so I gotta go with that. I gotta go with my LA Rams. I think you know, they just got the killer receivers. I think Adams has a lot of proof not having the best year last year. My boy Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to step it up and have a big game. And Koopa Vera needs to pay his rent in LA, right? So he needs to hit his bonuses and get through the playoffs. And I think what Carolina did is a nice Cinderella story. I think it's cute and everything. But any day, the experience of Stafford and everything is going to get this done. I think the score is going to be 28-12 for LA.
Ooh. I will say this. I know at the beginning of the show I said the Rams, but I'm going to make things interesting. I'm going to give you some reasons on why I think the Panthers can win this one.
I think Dasko said the Panthers would win too.
Dasko did. And I'm going to say this too. Like if Bryce Young can get a clean pocket and be able to make confident throws and move the ball downfield. We've been seeing every year Bryce Young just getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Like you compare stats to 23 to 25, they're big improvements. And I could see the Panthers coming in loosey-goosey, being like, look, even if we don't win this game, this year is a success. I think all the pressure is on the Rams. If you can create some turnovers early, we may know how this game is over by the second quarter. I think if it's a close game, I'll give it to the Rams. If the Panthers can find a way to pull away with maybe some trick plays early on in the game, I don't know if we're going to see a flea flicker or maybe even just some nice quick jet passes just to try to get Bryce Young comfortable. And I know you guys might think I'm crazy and I'm saying flea flicker, but I think the Panthers to win this one are going to have to go balls to the walls and really just try to. Who cares whether you win by 5 or lose by 30? It doesn't matter. So the Panthers
a win's a win and a loss is a loss.
Try it. Who cares? You're not expected to win this game. I think clean football to clean football, the Panthers don't stand a chance. I think if the Panthers can do some trickery, create some offense even from your defense, points off turnovers, and clean special teams, watch for anyone missing field goals. I'm going to say I still think the Rams will win, but I think if the Panthers can do those things with having clean special teams, and I really think some trickery, I think they have a shot. And
I will say Bryce Young's built for the moment, I think, because he played in some big games in college. He played in the national championship with Alabama in 2021. He's played in like environments with over, I know he's at home, but he's played in environments with over 100,000 fans screaming at him and like big moments, and he's come through. I know this is the NFL, but he has that in the back. Like he has that ability. So,
and last time he played the Rams, he kind of ripped them apart. 15 for 20, 206, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, and only sacked twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's see if the magic story of the ageless wonder of Matt Stafford continues, or do we see Bryce Young break the mold? And also, too, I'm going to say this, make people realize you don't have to be a certain height to be a good player. No, but like in all seriousness, Bryce Young reminds me so much of a Vernon Adams Jr. in the CFL who didn't make the NFL basically because of his height. And that's what, if you read the scouting reports on him, they're like, oh, he's too short. Which I think the NFL needs to realize these small, more mobile quarterbacks, they can do some things that other guys just can't.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So let's wait and see. I think if the Panthers can play mistake-free football, cause a couple turnovers the other way, I think they have a legitimate shot.
100%.
But now let's go to the Bears versus the Packers.
Yeah, that's going to be a one heck of a game.
I got to say, I got to love this matchup.
Man, this is great. You gotta love a division matchup, especially these two teams. They hate each other.
Oh, they
my
yeah,
gosh.
we do. Yeah,
I'm
I
Because
saw
they
a
did-
video. I saw a video the other day of like a Packers fan house that people can rent next to Lambeau. The toilet is a Bears toilet, dude. Like,
That's
are you
great.
like, are you kidding me?
Wow. Oh, love it. Well, same last night. Jacob and I were watching the Chicago versus Washington game, NHL, which is a good game, by the way.
Yeah.
And there were,
Oh, it was a good
they
game, yeah.
get like the footage of fans walking around the arena and everything, right? So I had a Chicago Bears fan walking around the Blackhawks arena, and he has a cheese grater on his head. I'm like, Jacob, like, whoa, why is he wearing a grater, not a cheese? Jacob like, no, because the Packers are the cheese heads, and the grater smash up the cheese. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's creative, that's smart. So like these two fans hate each other. The city's a close by and everything, and then Chicago's a big city, but Green Bay, I mean, very arguably probably one of the most loyal fan base in the NFL, right? So
Oh yeah, that's all they think
Good
about up
for
there
you.
is Packers football.
Well, and I'm gonna
Well,
say,
100%,
I would
it's
say
all they
this
got
too.
up there.
I would argue again. This is another one where I think there's way more pressure on the Packers than there is on the Bears, because
yeah.
whether you like Aaron Rodgers or not, Jordan Love has not been able to get the job done since Aaron Rodgers was, since they moved on from him. Not saying that was the wrong decision, right? Jordan Love's a talented quarterback. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think Green Bay, considering they started the year looking unbeatable, and
literally.
you know what? I would say they really took a downward trend to end the season.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I think for the Bears, if Caleb Williams can just not make the critical error, because his completion percentage still isn't great, but he's certainly been able to make big plays at big moments in this regular season. And I think the key is going to be for the Bears, they got to try to stop the Green Bay Packers pass rush. They're a team that likes to get to the quarterback. And like, what do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that's something the Bears got to focus on, is just try to give Caleb Williams time, or Caleb Williams has got to make his own time?
I think we gotta give Caleb Williams time here because he is a sophomore, right? He's new to it, and this is going to be his first NFL playoff game, right?
Yeah,
But
this is his first big game. He didn't play in any big games in college. He was at
That's
Oklahoma,
true.
but he's not great Oklahoma teams, and USC hasn't been a relevant college football program since like Matt Leinart was there in the early 2000s when they won a few Rose Bowls. Like that Caleb Williams has not played in big football games probably since high school.
Wow.
And Micah Parsons is not on the injured list, which means I'm assuming he's playing. So on the injury report, so having Micah Parsons in, like, whether you like him or lump him, because some people aren't a fan of after the whole thing and the way it ended in the Cowboys with him, but he's a guy that you have to game plan around.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
we got
another Panthers fan in the comments.
Listen, I'd love to see the
Welcome
upset.
back to the deck.
Love to see the Panthers upset the Rams.
Yeah, I do agree with Funfish. I'm not expecting a blowout. I do think the closer the game, the advantage is to the Rams. I think the Panthers got to try to pull away early in that one. But hey, you never know, right? Anything can happen when Timothy went to school, and I heard he didn't skip.
Here's the thing about the Rams that we like. You can get ahead of them. Like, sometimes they'll have these bad starts, but you got to just keep on scoring against them. Atlanta beat them. Atlanta was up big, and then they let them back in the game. They didn't win the game, but it was really close at the end. If you can get off to a really good start, have a big first half, come in at halftime, don't be overconfident. Just keep on hitting them. Just keep on going. And yeah.
But I think, too, this has got to be the Rams' year, because that Puka Nacua rookie contract's ending, right? So they're going to be in cap hell coming up. I don't think they'll be able to afford everything they have. But I really feel for this Packers team, I honestly feel there's a lot of pressure to beat. You got to beat the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't beat the Bears, that fan base is going to be mad at you. I know they're loyal, but they hate the Bears.
Well, it's kind of like
over the last number of years, the Bears have been irrelevant, and the Packers have been the best in that division. I know the Lions had their couple years, the last few years, and they're still pretty good. But this has been Green Bay's division. They need to now. The Bears have got it. They got to defend now.
100%.
Well, exactly, right. And I mean, when we're looking at the storylines here, like we do feel like, again, the Packers do have that playoff edge. But I mean, turnovers could be the way Chicago finds a way to get a victory, right?
I love the
So when you're
graphics,
kind of
Jacob.
Yeah,
Sorry, Dan?
really nice.
I love the graphics.
Graphics. Yeah.
thank you.
Top
You would think I
notch.
took graphic design, but I did not.
That's what being a TV producer does. You just get good at that stuff.
Exactly. But I mean, like, I'm really looking to see this game. I think out of the two, I think this one will be the game that's definitely going to draw the most viewership, and it's going to get people out of their seat because Caleb Williams, like him or lump him, he's exciting, right?
Oh, he's exciting to watch.
And
Oh,
I'm
I
really
love watching Caleb Williams. Absolutely.
I'll be honest. Do I like him on a personal level? I think he had a bit of an attitude problem at first coming in, but I think he's
I think
kind
he's
of
a little bit
realized, look, the
weird. I think
NFL's
he's
very
weird.
different than college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's a
odd
bit
dude.
weird on a personal level.
He's
He's
not-
honest, he's kind of quirky.
But as
Yeah.
long as you know what, though, I think for Bears fans, as long as he can throw a football and run with the football, they don't care. Now,
Yeah.
Lane Dash and Dashko did put this into the simulation and had the Packers winning 44-37 in an overtime thriller.
Oh,
Wow.
please give us that. Please.
Overtime.
Oh my goodness, I would love to see it.
Wow.
Overtime
So
game
would
between
I.
These ones.
So the
Oh,
comments here, got to give Rodgers credit, his age getting into the playoffs. Yeah, I will admit it.
Thank
I'm not an Aaron
you.
Rodgers fan. I've made that very clear at the desk.
aura for Dan.
I love him.
I get no. I would argue still that Baltimore lost that spot more than the Steelers won it.
Well, yeah, they missed the kick.
Missing the kick. There was another game that they easily could have won, but they just stopped giving Derrick Henry the ball for no reason.
Yeah,
They
I
made a
also
lot
feel
of
like-
mistakes.
I also feel like that go-ahead touchdown in that Week 18 game was blown coverage on the outside
It was. I agree with
because
you.
he was wide open. I talked about this, but I know that the Steelers also had two with leaving Zay Flowers like wide open. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy.
And still,
but-
give the Steelers credit, like the Panthers. They did enough to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right?
they actually won a game in Week 18. They won an important game late in the season, which they haven't in years.
You
since
look
Ben
at the
Roethlisberger.
Panthers. They lost and still got in. Like it's but in either way,
Yeah.
it's
It's so demoralizing if you're the Bucks because you
Yeah.
should have been in. You messed yourself up. It's your own fault. But you won a Week 18 game that you were tied against that team, and they still got in because of another game. That just
Which
doesn't
sucks.
It's just
I know.
crazy.
Eh? Craziness.
But I mean, I'm actually really looking forward to this matchup specifically. And I think this is the game where Caleb Williams really pushes away the comments that he can't do it. Because you see a lot of people say Caleb Williams' completion percentage is too low and he turns the ball over too much and he's too risky. But at the end of the day, Caleb Williams got here with a very good record. The Bears, I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm not playing NFL 2K5. The Bears have a good team.
Yeah.
Like
They
the Bears
played
are
some
good.
Really
They're a
good
very
games
good
this
team
year.
with a lot of weapons.
Most of their games this year, there's a good handful of those games. I can remember the Cincinnati game. Like these games were amazing to watch this year. Like I obviously it's the Bills, and then I don't really pay attention to the rest of the league until after Grey Cup. But
You and me both.
like just watching those games with the Bears, like even like on YouTube, like the NFL always posts like crazy ending to all of these games, and there's so many of those videos with the Bears in it. So it's like he's been in close games late. So
And I will say for this one too, as much as I think there's more pressure on Green Bay, just because I think they were expected to have a better season than they did. I still think there's
Projected
pressure
start.
on the Bears too, because it's kind of like for a CFL equivalent, it's like the Argos could have a terrible year, but if they win the Labor Day game, the fan base is like, yeah, we won the Labor Day game. Same for the
exactly.
Hamilton Tidecat fans. And I feel this one, that they could get eliminated the next round, but they'll be like, yeah, we beat the Packers, or yeah, we beat the Bears. So I think both of these teams
There's a
I'm
lot
the
of
Panthers,
rivalries
even though
like
the
that.
Bears haven't got here in a long time. I think there's a bit more pressure because it's the Packers.
Right. Yeah. It's the same thing in college. Like if Michigan or Ohio State have a bad year, well, if you beat Michigan, if you're Ohio State, or if you're Michigan, you beat Ohio, that's your season. That's a good season. It's just the same thing.
Interesting comments here from Fun Fish. He believes kind of like, excuse me, going to be the Rams or the Panthers. They got to play the Seahawks next.
Right. Yeah.
He's calling the Seahawks as the Avalanche of the of that area. And
yeah, exactly.
look,
yeah.
you know what? I am really hoping Seattle has a good playoff run just so people can shut up about Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
I
I know.
think Sam Darnold the last 2 years has proven a point that he's
Yeah.
better than people gave him. And by the way, I like Sam Darnold back when he was the backup for Brock Purdy. I said, hey, I actually think this guy's got something.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And it's the same thing I've argued. It's putting these rookie quarterbacks in terrible situations. Look how good Jordan Love is, for example. And I know we've talked about he hasn't got it done necessarily in the big game yet, but he played under Aaron Rodgers for a couple years first.
Exactly.
And it really helps these guys like Sidney Crosby with Mario Lemieux.
Yeah,
Alexander
he was living
Ovechkin.
with Mario Lemieux even too.
He even lived with him. Matthew Schaefer and Matt Martin. I know they don't play on the ice together.
Schaefer's ridiculous. I know
Oh
not
my
to get off
God, I know.
topic, but he's disgusting. The
He's
fact that
rookie
he
of the
didn't
year.
make
I don't
Team
care.
Canada makes me so mad.
Demidov could score 60 goals in the rest of the year.
They
and
talk
Matthew
so
Schaefer's
much-
still my rookie of the year.
They talk so much about how good Team USA's defense is. Well, you got Matthew Schaefer, and you could have had him on Team Canada. You didn't. Like, what is that?
Oh, I know. I was watching that Leaf versus Islander game when Schaefer's doing everything. Yep, Team Canada doesn't want this. Nah.
yeah. Wins the game in overtime.
Oh, man.
18-year-old defenseman.
But what I mean is, I think we're starting, guys like Caleb Williams do. We're seeing now, like, teams need to stop expecting quarterbacks to come out from college, come in and dominate. It's a completely different game.
And you need to put them in their good situation. Like, I think
do, but
I think not to take anything away from CJ Stroud, but he came into he had a great defense, so there's not a lot of pressure. He didn't have to score a lot with that defense. And he came in and he made the playoffs. Bryce Young came into a terrible Panthers team. I don't care about how good you were. Those Alabama teams for years were stacked. There was no 4 stars. It was all 5 stars.
Yeah. And even and this is no disrespect to the college game, by the way. From what I've watched in college football, it could be very exciting.
Oh, it's great. College football is so exciting to watch.
But like, there's a big difference between college football and the NFL or even the CFL. You're going against professional athletes versus chem students, and that's no disrespect. Like, I love college football.
Well, they're all scholarship.
What I've watched, it's awesome. I got to get into it more next year. And I've said to Dan that I really want to get into university football in Canada next year. That's on my list of things I want to get into.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between that and the professional level. And we're seeing now, look, when the Bears have given Caleb Williams a couple years. Sam Darnold's bounced between a couple teams, but started to figure it out. Bryce Young had a really promising year this year. So it's one of those things. I think you just got to let these players learn the game. And yeah, Boston destroying the New York Rangers. Man, the Rangers, they just can, like, everyone freaks out about the Leafs when the Leafs lose a game. The Rangers, I can't even watch the Rangers. They're terrible.
Isn't Sullivan the head coach of that team?
I don't know how he still is the head coach.
Well, if he's going to be coaching USA, maybe he's not very good anymore. Keep him as coach. If he's a bad coach, keep him as coach of USA.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to see what the Rangers do before deadline because I think Panarin's going to be out of there.
Oh, they got to sell. I mean, they lost 10-2.
And Dan, if and when Toronto gets Panarin, then you'll see why they didn't spend the cap in the offseason.
Oh, you think Toronto's going to get Panarin?
I'm calling it. They have extra pieces. We have 3 NHL goalhies. We have 8 NHL defensemen. I don't know. We can trade the last prospect we have who was on Team Canada who got bronze.
Oh,
Ben Danforth or whatever.
Danforth,
Danford.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
He looked pretty good in the tournament. I'm not gonna lie. He looked pretty good.
He did. He did. Really good.
I do still have some more World Junior content planned for the analyst desk, so don't you worry, World Junior fans. But overall, I think this game will be very, very entertaining.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I would say for the Bears, you almost want this game to be a shootout.
Yeah.
I think they're better equipped for a
Don't let it be
shootout
a close
than the
game because
Packers.
that Green Bay pass rush will get to you, and they might force something that you don't want. Like Parsons, if Parsons gets after Williams and gets a
Yeah.
start, he might force a fumble and then take it right in for a touchdown. Like he's that.
But could
good.
we also see Caleb Williams using his escapability to turn a
Absolutely.
blitz into a big play? Right? That's a matchup I'm watching. Pass rush versus escapability.
That's what he did to win the Cincinnati game. Rushed
Yeah.
out of the pocket, threw it down over to his tight end Loveland, and he went like 80 yards for a touchdown.
Say what you want about Caleb Williams. He's got a special talent.
Yeah.
And he's won some big games this regular season. Now, regular
Yes.
season to playoffs, I would say it's like going from NCAA to professional. It's a big jump. But
Yeah.
I like this Bears team. I think this team can actually, I'm calling it. I think the Bears, this is my upset. I think the Bears will beat the Packers today.
Nice.
Wow.
Like legitimately, I see the Bears.
I'm picking
We
the
all
Bears
know
as
Micah
well.
Parsons is not 100%, even though he's going to play.
Oh, he has to play. It's the playoffs, right?
Oh, he has to. But I mean,
unless
this
it's
Packers
like
team,
a career-ending risk for him, he has to play.
Yeah, exactly.
which sucks because I mean, like, hopefully he doesn't end his career. This guy.
Oh, absolutely not. No one wants to see a guy like Micah Parsons with his talent end his career on an injury in the playoffs.
No, definitely not.
But what I'm really looking is if I think the key for the Bears is just going to be to try to force third downs. The Green Bay Packers are under 50% for third down conversions. So it's not like they're an awesome third down team. Their defense does a phenomenal job against third down, only allowing 86 conversions of 216 attempts. I mean, their third down defense is insane. But I'm really looking for, can the Bears force the Packers to have to use third down? This might sound weird, but I watch the Packers. They like to get first downs and 2 downs. That's what that offense likes. It's almost
great CFL team.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny enough. I was just about to say in that way, and Josh Jacobs is a hell of a running back who can easily be getting on a roll and getting 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So if he can get 6 yards a carry and open up the whole playbook on second down, that's going to be critical. But like everyone's looking at the quarterbacks. I'm looking at Josh Jacobs. If Green Bay gets this victory, I think he'll be the difference maker, not Jordan Love. I think Caleb Williams and Jordan Love will almost be canceling each other out, even though they play very, very different. I'm looking for Josh Jacobs, who I think is the most underrated running back in the NFL, to go out there and put a statement out today.
I agree with that.
If the Packers win this one.
You guys calling for the Bears? Wow.
I'm calling for the Bears.
I'm calling for the Bears, dude.
So what's this? What you guys are saying?
I got too many. I got a lot of people that I know that are Bears fans, so I cannot pick against the Bears.
Yeah,
I know.
And I don't really want to. I think they're going to win.
Wow,
I think they're going to win.
I'm going to take the Bears 31-22.
Ooh.
31-22. I want a close one. I'm going to go 35-32.
What's your thought, Mr. Moore, for your money?
Well, this is a very tough one. I think this is going to be a very close game. I don't think it's going to be a bit of a blowout like the first game I predicted. I think this one's going to be extremely tight. I think any day, Jordan, I love what Caleb Williams has done in the Bears, but I think you look at Jordan Love and Micah Parsons and Josh Jacobs, this Green Bay team's is too stacked. Well, I think Green Bay's going to take it. I'm going to go not for the upset. I'm taking Green Bay, and I'm going to take it 30-27. I think it's going to be that close.
I like that, Dan.
I like that score.
It could be like a walk.
I had that score in mind too.
Yeah. 30-27, Green Bay. Let's go. It's going to be the game of the night. I mean, I hope we could do like a post game after this game tonight. I think it's going to be cool.
Well, I'm thinking we'll do a post game today of the NFL and
the NHL
tonight. Because also remember too, some big NHL games tonight, including the Leafs versus the Canucks. David Kempf on his revenge tour against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah,
so it should be interesting. But look, I will say this, and I want to give a reasoning on why I think the Bears are going to get this done. I think Caleb Williams is built to beat a team like the Packers. I think a mobile quarterback is built to go against this pass rush.
Yeah.
And I really do feel Caleb Williams' mobility can be the answer. Now, on the other side, for Dan, I really feel this comes down to Josh Jacobs more than Jordan Love. Dan, I know you say Jordan
I
Love.
agree with you.
I'm not saying Jordan Love is a bad quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. But I don't understand why Josh Jacobs is not in the same conversations as like a Saquon Barkley, a James Cook. Like why he's not in, because every time I watch Josh Jacobs, I'm like, this guy's insane. He's a great receiving back. He's a tank.
Yeah.
I love Josh Jacobs, and not just because Jacobs is a great name, but also because I really feel he's a very underrated running back. It's not always about the quarterbacks as much as I'm wearing my vintage Ricky Ray jersey today.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be honest, I don't own any NFL jerseys. I do like the NFL. I'm more of a CFL guy myself. So all my jerseys are CFL, but I'm really expecting this to be a very, very, very close game.
Yeah.
But then but before I let you guys go, I want to talk a little bit more about this second game. So I will be honest, no disrespect to the Panthers versus the Rams, and maybe that game will surprise me. I more think that one I kind of think
that's
will be
the appetizer. That is the
appetizer.
Nothing against both teams. I root for the Chargers over the Rams, by the way. So I'm that the Rams are not my favorite team from Los Angeles in football. So maybe there's a little bit of a bias, but I did pick the Rams to win. But I want the Panthers. But yeah, that's the appetizer.
But what I'm more curious about for this one is when we start comparing these two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I do apologize. There's a little bit of bleed from an effect I was trying to do at the bottom of that graphic, so we'll just kind of ignore the bleed. But it's interesting to see which one of these, when you look at these quarterbacks, which style is going to work. Is it going to be the pocket passer? Is it going to be the playmaker who's going to be more off script? We know Jordan Love is more going to be running a system. Where Caleb Williams, I think Caleb Williams is the biggest wild card of the wild card.
Yeah, literally.
We don't know what he's going to be like. So, and we know that he has a tendency of trying too hard to make something out of nothing. And as Sam pointed out, maybe that's where a guy like Micah Parsons can really take over. But head to head, which quarterback do you think has the advantage? Because you could argue in a lot of ways they're even, just in different ways.
I think Caleb Williams fits what Ben Johnson wants to do, because like Caleb Williams has all the potential in the world, and with Ben Johnson and his offense, like we saw what he did in Detroit with all those trick plays and everything. I just think that the offense that they can run is limitless because of the mobility and because of the arm talent, right? He just has to fine tune some things. But the thing is, Jordan Love has done it in the playoffs before. I think back to when they went to Dallas and he absolutely torched the Cowboys. And this is when the Cowboys had Micah Parsons. So he played against Micah Parsons and he lit that team up. It was like 40 to like 13 at like the end of the third quarter. It was a blowout.
Wow.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, like Jordan Love's having a nice year. Like when you go to look at his stats, 23 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, an overall efficiency rating of 101.2. And the last time he played the Bears, you know what? He did play very well, going 25 for 38, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns to 1 pick. So we do know that Jordan Love can do it. And to Sam, to your point, you are right. Jordan Love has been here, done that before, where Caleb Williams has not, right? And that's why I think Caleb Williams is the true wild card. But Dan, when you're looking at these QBs, who do you think has the advantage today?
Today, I think it's Jordan Love. I give Caleb Williams a lot of credit. He didn't have his best rookie year, right? And his sophomore year, he's blown off a chart and surprised myself, surprised a lot of people, and was a true leader of this team and got them into a wild card playoff spot. So I give him a tons of respect. With Jordan Love, he's a bit of wild card too, because he started off the year bombing. The whole team was just amazing and started the year. And I find ever since Green Bay had that tie, their season kind of swooped off a bit. But because they had such a good start, they still made their way in the playoffs, and no really power to them. But I just think any day Jordan Love's got that little more experience, and in a playoff style atmosphere and a big crowd, and getting the play clock right and all that, I think that's going to help a lot, and I think he's going to have a slight edge in this one.
Now, I do want to remind you guys, though, Caleb Williams this year, everyone goes on, he's turnover happy. He only had 7 interceptions. Now, his completion rating is only 58.1%, but he did throw for 3,942 yards, 27 TDs to just 7 interceptions. So let's not sell Caleb Williams short, right? Just because he maybe doesn't have the same experience of a Jordan Love doesn't necessarily mean that he can't today. And we got to remember, the Bears are technically the better team at 11-6. Well, the Packers are 9-7-1. I would say this year for the Packers has been very underwhelming.
Yeah,
but before I let you guys go, I also want to quickly take a look at the other quarterback matchup, which that game kickoff should be starting any moment now between the Carolina Panthers and the LA Rams.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see, a big note that I put in is, can Stafford handle pressure and protect the football at 36? And that is the $1 million question for me, is if the Panthers can collapse his pocket, can Matt Stafford use his legs enough to be a difference maker? I'm not saying he needs to do what Caleb Williams would do, because that's not realistic. He's not Caleb Williams, right? But can he do enough that, like, when the pocket collapses, he can get out of there? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on this quarterback matchup?
I love it because the college football fan in me thinks Bryce Young, Alabama, and Matthew Stafford, Georgia. So that matchup between those two teams, I know Matthew Stafford played in like the late 2000s, early 2010s in college. Bryce Young played just a few years ago, so they didn't cross paths. But the history between their two schools is there, and it's fascinating because Bryce Young, especially when we did the simulation game, he ran all over the Rams. Like he was the centerpiece of that offense, where he was just running all over them. Whereas Matthew Stafford, like you said, I think he's like Bryce Young is more on the Caleb Williams side, and Matt Stafford is more on the Jordan Love side, where he's more of a pocket passer. So I think it's really going to come down to the run game for the Rams being good, so that he doesn't have to run out of the pocket too much. They can set up the pass.
But then I want to ask you, Dan, for Bryce Young, I have costly mistakes under postseason pressure. Do you think Bryce Young can handle the pressure of the postseason? I know you're projecting a Rams blowout. So do you think that's because of Bryce Young just being too young? Young. Or do you just think the Rams are just an overall better team and will take care of business?
I think Bryce Young's going to handle the pressure okay. I really do. I think it's just that the Rams are just too good of a team. I mean, you look at it's amazing what the Panthers have did, but if they were in a different division, they wouldn't even be in this conversation, right? So it's like, what they did was impressive, but we're also here because of the division that they're in. Versus the Rams, I mean, you got the great receivers, you got the veteran quarterback. I think we're just going to get it done.
Well, time will tell, right? It's going to be, I think, where do we go? Hello. We're going to have some great football today, guys, and I'm really looking forward to it. But I think it's time now. We've talked about some great football. It's time to watch some great football.
That's right.
So I will say this, Sam, if you can join us, great. If not, don't worry about it. But we will be back for a end of day show tonight, at least going over what's been going on in the NFL, what's going on in the NHL. It's going to be pretty late because the other NFL game won't end until like 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Those games go long. Like
they do.
1 o'clock. That's why you have a 1 o'clock window, a 4 o'clock, and then an 8 o'clock. The 1 o'clock games aren't ending until like 4:15.
Yeah, literally.
It's long. It's longer than a baseball game now.
Yeah, but I think football, though, there's more going on than a baseball game. Baseball game, you can sit there for 2 hours and nothing will happen. Even
I think
low-scoring
it's similar
football
though
game can be
because
very
you have the time off in between pitches. You also have the time off in between plays, especially in the NFL, right? It's not the CFL. They have a long play clock
Yeah.
with a
Right.
ton of time in between. That's why you see replays on every play. It's the same
Yeah,
thing with baseball,
You're right there.
Replays on every play,
Mm.
and once the pitch is thrown, that's the action. But I think I agree with you, right? Because not every pitch is going to result in action. Whereas
Well,
every
yeah.
snap, it could be a fumble, it could be a pass attempt, it might be an incompletion, but there's less incompletions to the sideline than there is just, called strike, called ball, foul ball that you can't see because they don't even show it went like in the third deck in the foul line. Like it's
Good
By the way,
point.
it is 7-0 Rams, so that game has already gotten underway.
I told you, man, they go right down the field. If that
already
offense
have a
is
quick
playing,
score. Matt Stafford going 3 for 3 on the opening
Ooh,
drive,
wow.
40 yards and a touchdown pass. One run
Wow.
from Williams for a 5-yard
Called
carry.
it. I
So I think
called
on
it.
that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get going. But
We do.
remember, if
We
you
can't.
haven't,
Subscribe to our channel.
subscribe to the desk. Remember, there's some big news coming up over the next week about so much more content we're going to be doing.
Oh yeah.
And
Think you're lying.
I am not lying, according to even though the British detective thinks I am. So don't.
He
worry.
loves his new sounds, guys.
I do. I love sound effects. But I want to thank you very much for joining us at the desk. I'd also like to thank Sam very much for joining us here as well. If you have a chance to check out his show on Football Talk with Sam, which is on the channel, please go give it a watch. He does a great job breaking down everything that's going on in college football and the NFL. And Sam, I can't wait to chat CFL with you once the CFL season gets more underway.
Heck yeah. And I understand that you guys are gonna have a show coming out soon about player report cards. So I personally am so excited I get excited, not to go off topic, but like the team report cards are always great for me because I love the team operation side of things. So seeing, how they did for team travel or like player amenities or stuff like that, I'm very intrigued with that. So I cannot wait to see what you guys have to say on that stuff. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
And
Next summer, CFL is going to be great.
One thing cool of that too is CFL player report cards go a lot more in depth than the NFL player report cards. They actually break down why the grades are what they are too.
Yes.
So it's very
That's
interesting.
awesome.
We're reading a lot about it. I don't know how Montreal got an F for family treatment, but maybe F
Yeah,
for
that
family.
was like, huh?
But anyways, we got to get going to watch some amazing football. But I want to thank you everyone for joining us at the desk. Remember to subscribe to our channel. We always appreciate it. Just give it an old like go if you're able to. Again, always appreciate that.
Down below.
Thanks very much for joining. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst with the fedora. I'm the detective today, joined by Mr. More for Your Money and Sam from Let's Talk Football. We'll see you guys later tonight. Have a great day. And remember, thank you for joining us at the analyst desk, where every day feels like game day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.